Welcome back to the part 3. Great job. I'm glad that you're here. All right. So once we have the logout, let's go ahead and return some stuff so that way we can make things happen. As a matter of fact, let me see. We'll return some JS sets here. And let's just return the contents. We have the contents here. So let's just make sure that we return the component here. So what we're going to do here is we're going to access the provider here, and we can access that, and yeah, and then the value will be here, the stuff that we want to be exposed outside of this. So I'm trying to remember here because most of these things I have it on a boilerplate file, believe it or not. So we want the auth user. We need to make sure that this has a double curly braces in here. And the set user, we also want to expose the login and the logout function out. So that way everybody can have access to this. Okay. And then we want, of course, the children in here. And you're going to see this working in a minute. And let me see something here. Auth contents. Oh, I got to make sure that this one has a matching provider thing here. All right. Awesome. All right. And this thing here is just a property. And remember that since we're using JS sets here, we need to put the curly braces here. Okay. All right. What else we need here? So we return that. And then at the end here, we should export out, not here, but here, this file. So let's go and export this function use auth. All right, and we're gonna be exporting the use contents. Yeah, there we go. And what context are we talking about? This guy right here. So that's how we make this work. Let me make sure that, yeah, this function, the provider function is there. And then we use at the end this guy here to export it out. Perfect. So now the first thing that we need is to go to main.js, like I said before, and we need to make sure that we import this here on top. We don't have strict mode here, but I'm just going to leave it there. And let's go and import the auth provider here. So let me do it here. So auth provider. And let's just make sure that our whole application is taking advantage of that. There we go. All right. Let's just make sure that our application actually still works. Okay. All right. Fail to parse source import not because the content contains invalid JS syntax. If you are using JS sets, make sure, yeah, that's one thing I forgot. I forgot to include JS sets extension here. You probably saw that when I was doing this here, returning the contents. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and rename this to JS sets. All righty. There we go. So, fail to resolve hooks, use auth. Does the file exist? Make sure that we don't have that. So we let our React application decide what it wants to do. All right, so this works really good stuff. All right, login, there we go. Perfect. All right, so it's working. That's the first step. Now we need to start modifying our application to use this custom hook. Now, the first thing here now would be to go to login. And now we don't need to be As a matter of fact, even in app.js should be the app.js should JS sets should be the first one to take advantage of this update. Okay. But we're gonna start doing that in the next lecture. All right. Just make sure that your application is working after you put this. Remember that we have to change the extension here of our hook, the use auth, to from JS to JS eds. Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna take all that off, and then we're gonna start modifying some of these things on the next lecture. Okay, guys. Make sure your application works. I'll see you guys on the next following lecture.